I wanted a greyhound when I was about 13, and I said to my mother at the time, any chance of me getting a greyhound? She said, well, it'll be just like your guitar and we'll finish up in the corner. It's about the only thing she's ever been wrong about. And then I didn't get one when I was about 17. I bought one for $40, and what you'd expect for $40, that's what I got. And took a few giveaways for a fair number of years, went for about 15 years without getting a winner. And then I took over the training of a little dog called Mixer. Billy Parslow's a good mate of mine. He got hurt. He got injured at work and he couldn't walk his dogs. And I took him over and I broke the drought in a place called Tamworth. It was a fair way to go to get a winner. And from then on in, I started studying the breeding and bought a pup. First pup I actually, after I started doing the homework, I bought a dog called Matrix Lad. He won in Melbourne. He won a few in Melbourne actually. He was a good dog. He's by a dog called Nelson's Mate, brother to a Darvel Flyer. And from then on in, just, you know, I bought brood bitches and acquired brood bitches and bred a few good dogs.
15 years is a long time, Bob, to learn the ropes. And did you ever, during that stage, think, this is a bit too hard, this caper, or was it a real learning curve for you? No,
it's all a learning curve, but made a lot of mistakes like everybody else does when they start out and sort of didn't really know anyone in greyhounds. And I remember going down to see Lionel Price, a fellow by the name of Lionel Price. He had a dog called Fornulla, and we always followed his dogs. You know, when I was sort of going to the dogs when I was 13, and went to him and asked him a few things. And Lionel was cooperative. He was a really good bloke, Lionel, and gave us a few clues, and then asked a few other people and done some funny things, I can tell you, you know, like if somebody said it was good and somebody else said it was good, I was doing both for a while, and yeah, just learned the hard way, you know.
You moved, after you were married and had a couple of kids, you moved to Huntingdale in the southeastern suburbs, not all that far from Sandown Park.
Yeah, only ever trained 4 until we come here. When we actually moved here, we took on more, but we only ever had 4 dogs in work, maximum. Yeah.
Well, one of the terrific brood bitches that you bought was Harper Valley when you decided to branch into that side of breeding, and she was a foundation bitch of a tremendous line for you.
Yeah, the first bitch we got hold of actually was a bitch called Carmen Lady actually, Johnny Hellingham's line, and which surprisingly enough started us off with Kimona Kid and Kimona Miss, and Carlisle Jack actually goes back to Johnny Hellingham's line, Leander Lass and Leander Miss.
In the first 10 bitches to go to Jared Supreme?
Yeah, I think it was. I thought we was about the 7th, but we're actually the 13th. We bought Harper Valley. We had the choice to buy Harper Valley or Rinaldi Lass, and at that stage, Rinaldi Lass had thrown Ginger, but he was a pup in the yards. We bought Harper Valley, and then we bred the litter Tivoli model, which you raced, and got Tivoli model back for breeding, and then she threw Dashing Eagle and.
It's fair to say you've been at the crossroads quite a number of times in the greyhound caper, and one of those times was probably when you were humming and hawing about breeding with Tivoli model.
Oh yeah, she turned out a super brood bitch for us. Yeah, she bred Dashing Eagle. Actually, that litter, that was going to be the last foray. And Faye said, "You're not selling them." I was going to sell them, and my wife Faye said, "You're not selling them." She said, "If I got to clean houses, we're going to keep these. I got a feeling about them." And you know, he was a freak dog.
You decided to buy this property in 1984.
Yeah, it was a paddock when we bought it. It was just one big paddock, no internal fencing, rubbish everywhere, and had a couple of friends used to come up every weekend and give us a hand, and we just gradually got it into shape now.
Over 100 acres, so it's a big property, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 115 acre property, but the dogs are only set up on probably about 7 of it.
Yeah. And just about everything, all sorts of money that you gained from your greyhounds was poured into the property, and that's been an ongoing project since that time.
Yeah, we sold a lot of dogs actually to finish the property off at times. At times I probably sold some that I probably shouldn't have, but I was obsessed with getting the place up and running, and it's an ongoing process. We still haven't finished it yet, but it's gradually getting there.
It's pretty close now though, isn't it? With your straight track and your runs, your galloping runs and everything you probably need, and your kennel complex for your race dogs is pretty well completed.
Yeah, we're pretty well set up to train now. It's you know, we've got the straight track to send them up 300 metres uphill, and galloping yards, bull ring, yeah, we haven't got a circle track, but I'm contemplating that if I stay in it.
Made the decision to go full-time. It's a pretty tough go to go it alone, full-time, in a full-time manner.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We've got a small business that sort of gives you something to fall back on. But no, the dogs are very hard. This is the most competitive state. I think there's more big kennels here, and the grading's tight. No, it's not something. It's very hard. It's hard. You need really good dogs, and they're hard to get.
On the catching pen next week, Bob talks about his champion, Carlisle Jack.
Jack out by 7 on Thunder Treek. Then came Tiger Jettle, but they swing for home. And the West is under Jack Attack. Carlisle Jack racing away with a Swan Draft Interstate Challenge.
Well, we were having a bit of a horror run. We tried a lot of pups and we weren't getting anywhere. And Les Slattery came here one day for a cup of coffee and we're having a yak, and he said, I've just sold a couple of pups, and he said, I'm recommending that you'd train them if you'd be interested in training them, And I said, oh yeah, I don't really know, Les, sort of ummed and ahed a bit, and Les said, I'm telling you, this pup's going to change your luck. He said, he's going to be a good dog. So I said, oh yeah, all right. So anyhow, he said, what do you want him to do? I said, well, wait till take him home and put a bit of age on him, because Les' dog's a bit slow coming on. And anyhow, they rang me, and this was in the course of 3 or 4 months, and I'd changed my mind. I'd advertised all the dogs, and I thought, oh well, we're out, we were going to get out of the dogs, and we'd advertised them all that week, and the people rang, Les rang and said, that dog's ready to come down. And I said, I don't think I'll be able to take him. And anyhow, then he said, well, you better tell them. So then Max and Carol rang me and said, that dog, what do you want us to do with the dog? In the meantime, I said to Faye, well, we told them we'd take him. I said, we'll take the pup, try him for 6 or 8 weeks, and then we'll be out of it, And of course it was Carlisle Jack.
Ready, set, racing. Mint Mojo and Molly's Osty flew out of the boxes. Well away, Gypsy D Lass, Carlisle Jack. They were followed by Tommy Hand, Modern Assassin, making ground as Magic Hand in the centre. And the tail end of Gypsy D Lass with Rich Hand down the back. Mint Mojo and Carlisle Jack bumping. They show the way from Molly's Osty. 3 lengths away as Magic Hand, Tommy Hand, Modern Assassin can't win from Rich Hand. And Gypsy D Lass, Carlisle Jack took over on the corner. He's got away. He's 3 in front of Mint Mojo and Molly's Osty. Look at Jack go. Carlisle Jack wins the money.
The Easter egg, undoubtedly the biggest highlight in your career.
Yeah, that was undoubtedly it was sort of something that I must admit, wasn't at all nervous through the series, because I didn't give him a hope in it. The way the draw was all the way through, I just thought, oh well, I think they're going to beat him this week, and we couldn't draw a box, but no, he just sensationally missed the start, and then next thing I was in front. Yeah.
All over Australia, he raced the best, and was a sensational race dog, running quick time.
Sensational dog, yeah. Just can't fault the dog. Temperament, everything about him is just. There's only one. We had one little hiccup with him, and that was we took him to Sydney, and he was kennelled on the catch and pen side, and it was the only time he's ever played up in his life. He played up in the kennel and got beat, and I was very disappointed with the run. And I think you actually talked me into going back for the Easter egg, and that was the only time I've had a problem with the dog. We've had minor problems. He's raced with minor problems like all good dogs do, like all dogs do. They all race with problems. He's raced with toes taped together. He had split weapons and broken toenails and things like that, but he competed at the highest level the whole time. That's why I don't handle detractors very well, because I know how good he was and I know what he carried.
Bob, Carlisle Jack, he's been at stud since November last year, and he's going very well. You're happy with him at this stage?
He's been very well supported by the breeders. Yeah, a number of people have put 4 and 5 bitches to him, and I would say that probably attracted the bitches that you don't normally get in your first season. People have got a very high opinion of him. I didn't advertise the dog, I think, for the first 3 or 4 months, and he could have been booked out all the time, But no, he's been very well supported.
Pretty confident he'll make it at stud. You've been there. It's not an easy task to establish a stud dog, and that he does throw on, as some of you know, Token Prince and Just the Best we see are really up the top now, but they all started somewhere. Are you confident he can make it?
Well, if he doesn't, I'll sync with him because I've put 4 or 5 bitches to him now, and I've never done that with any of our dogs. So, you know, no, I'll be surprised if he don't.
Finally, you never get tired of the hard work, or you're starting to feel, you and Faye starting to feel the hard work around the property now and maybe drop back a little bit?
Yeah, I'd start to get wear me down a bit now. It's 7 days, and you know, that is a hell of a lot of work. And yeah, I'd say when Jack finishes, I'll hang the leads up too, I think.
Retire with Jack?
I would say so, yeah.
Sounds like a good reason to go out on.
Unless one of his pups are as good as him, and they might find a few more years. But no, I think when he finishes, I'll finish.